Right, welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike. We're going to talk about something different, and this concerns the Inua Jamii program. And already in studio, I'm joined by Moses Kamau, who is Director for Social Protection and Senior Citizens Affairs in the State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizen Affairs. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mike.
How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm well.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. Now, let's get right into it. What is Inua Jamii and what does it do?
Inua Jamii is a national government safety net program that takes care of the most vulnerable population in the country. We are talking about the older persons who are 70 years and above, and also households with orphans and vulnerable children, and also persons with a severe disability, who in one way or another, they are not even able to feed themselves. They have economic challenges. They are poor. And so the government came up with this national safety net program so that we can cushion them from the adverse effects of poverty, so that they can be able even to have food on the table, take care of their health, and even some of them educate their children. Yeah, so it's a national safety net program that is purely funded by the government of Kenya.
Yes.
Yes.
How long has it been in operation?
Inua Jamii program has been there for over 20 years. It started in 2004 with a few households that were taking care of orphans and vulnerable children. A few years later, in 2007, the older persons were brought on board. 2009, the persons with the severe disabilities were included in the program. And it has grown in numbers from that time. We started with just slightly around 4,000 households at that time. Then we increased to 1,000 households, 1,500 households in every constituency. Right now, we are talking about 1.75 million beneficiaries throughout the country, in every village of this country, benefiting from this program. We have the largest share going to older persons, or the older persons cash transfer, which is universal. Anybody who hits 70 years and above is registered into the program, as long as you are not in any government pension. So we take care of those that have worked in the informal sector for many years, and they ended up being poor because of one reason or another, educating their children, building this country, and they do not have a pension. They didn't have a pension scheme. So those are the people that we take care of them. And also households that are taking care of orphans and vulnerable children, that may be children that have been left by their parents because of various reasons. Parents have passed on, and they are left with relatives or their great parents. And also persons with severe disabilities. These are people who require 24-hour care for them to feed, to do the basic things. So we also facilitate the caregiver to take care of those persons with disabilities. So it has been there for over 20 years, and it has been growing, both technologically and in numbers, and even the funding from the government.
Yes.
Yes.
It has become more prevalent. You said it has been here for 20 years.
Yes.
But it has become more prevalent from around 2017, 2018. What was that?
Yeah. In 2018, the government then is the one that made the older person's cash transfer universal, such that everybody who was 70 years at that time, 2017, was included into the program. And that brought on board over 800,000 older persons into the program. So everybody now came to know about the program. And from that time, we have been increasing the numbers. And so every village in this country, you can't miss beneficiaries of Inua Jamii program. So it is prominent. It's only that sometimes government programs, we are not able to do what is called to advertise and to create awareness, but the program has been benefiting big number of persons, vulnerable people in this country. Yeah.
How have people been registering? What has been the registering process for the Inua Jamii program? Because this is a big program that, as you have said, is rolled out throughout the country.
Yes. Registration happens at the grassroots, at the grassroots level, right from the village. We want the people at the grassroots to identify among themselves those people who are vulnerable. So we involve the local administration, that is the chiefs, the assistant chiefs. We bring these people together, the communities together, and they are able to identify themselves, the most vulnerable among them. And from there, we're able to take their data and forward it to the national. We have a system at the headquarters, and for the 70 years, anybody who is 70 years and is not in pension, in a government pension, they get into the program. The other two programs, that is for the orphans and vulnerable children and for the persons with a severe disability, we do some vetting, because the funds that we have cannot be able to cater for each and every household that is vulnerable in this country. So we do a bit of vetting. We visit the households. We look at their socioeconomic status. What do they have? Do they have somebody who is working either in the formal or informal sector? Do they have any form of income? What properties do they own? We do a bit of vetting so that from there we subject them to PMT, the proxy means test. Yes. So we are able to pick only those that are most vulnerable within the community.
So how much are we talking about in terms of cash transfer amount to the beneficiaries?
Every beneficiary in the Inua Jamii cash transfer program receives Kenya shillings 2,000 every month. And I want to say that initially there were some delays in disbursement of these funds. But from the time this government came into being, from 2023 June, we have been paying this money on monthly basis without fail. So that these beneficiaries now they can be able to plan themselves, because it's kind of a regular income, predictable. It's not where they used to wait for 3-4 months by monthly. We pay them on monthly basis, but the amount is Kenya shillings 2,000 per beneficiary.
Yes.
And this, I want Kenyans to understand, right now, by the end of this financial year, we'd have spent almost 41 billion for this program. And this is purely funded by the government of Kenya, the taxpayers' money from the exchequer. Yeah. So it's a huge program.
And given that you have said that, what can you say has been the impact of this program since its inception, or between 2018 and today?
There has been a lot of impact, known impact, because we go there to the field and we see older persons, their life expectancy has been, prolonged, because now they have food on their table. They can be able to take care of their medication. We have evidences where these older persons, some did not even have a house, what you can call a decent house.
Yes.
So, many of them have been able to build more, a decent house for themselves. They have, their social status has improved, because now they have some income. Their families, they are able to take care of them because they have something at the end of the month. So they don't neglect them. The issues of abuse and neglect, especially for the older person, is not there, has reduced, because these older persons has something at the end of the month that might even be shared by the whole household. So the welfare of the older persons has greatly improved. Not only that, we have seen some of these older persons educating their children, taking them to day schools, and they are able to pay using this money. Because if you look at the fees for the high schools, the secondary day schools, is around 10,000. They only pay for meals and all that. These older persons is getting 24,000 at the end of every year. So they are able to even educate some of their grandchildren, those have been left by their, you know, their parents. So there's a lot of impact in the program has had over the years. And we have seen so many children getting care in terms of education, health, the persons with disabilities. When we provide something to this money to the caregiver, even that person with the disability is able to be taken care of in a better way than it used to be. So there is quite a lot of documented evidence that this fund has impact. Yes.
I know that there's a story on the front page of the Daily Nation.
Yes.
And they're saying retirees bear the brunt of Ruto M-Pesa rule. Many senior citizens have been locked out of the Inua Jamii program following President William Ruto's directive that all disbursements be done through mobile money wallets. This stems from SIM registration hitches, including having national identity numbers with 7 digits or deemed too old. How are you dealing with this?
Let me say, initially, up to last month, that is up to last month, we were paying using the banks, where they could go to the banks, line up for them to get their money. But now we came up with an innovation where they can receive their money, their funds, through the mobile money platform. Yeah. We are working with eCitizen and currently with Safaricom, so that this beneficiary does not have to go to the bank to queue or to wait for a long time, to walk a long journey to receive their money. So it is a new thing that we have introduced. And I want to assure you, out of the 1.7 beneficiaries that we paid last week, it was only last week that we rolled it out, up to this morning, 1.45 million beneficiaries have cashed out their funds. Most of them, they have cashed out their funds without even going to the M-Pesa agent. They just pull the money to their M-Pesa. They can buy goods, they can pay for services. And those that have to go to the agent, they're just going to the nearest M-Pesa agent. And they just dial *2 and they are taken through a small journey and they get their money. The M-Pesa agent gets a message and they receive a message, and he's able to get his 2,000 cash without any cost. No charges, no traveling long distances. We are making it more accessible. So I want to say it has been a success, because out of the 1.7, 1.4 have already received. On the issue of the IDs that have 7 digits.
Yes,
I think that this is no. I have Safaricom have confirmed anybody within the Inua Jamii program can register, whether 7 or 8 digits. You can register your line. I think those are the people that didn't have, the older persons who didn't have the lines. But we are telling them now, let them go to any Safaricom agent. They will register their line and they will immediately get a message that they have been allocated their Kenya shillings 2,000, and they can withdraw immediately.
Yes.
And that is what is happening right now as we speak.
Yes. Yeah, they're saying some elderly people do not have mobile phones, others are illiterate, and a few have fallen prey to wayward relatives entrusted with their mobile money wallet PIN number.
Yeah.
So how are we going to ensure that the money intended for the elderly people reach them, and in cases where they're facing fraud?
I think first I want to say we are using M-Pesa agents. Nobody should be able to withdraw somebody else's money without, I mean, he has to present himself with his national ID. So the agent is supposed to carry out due diligence to ensure that the person withdrawing the money is the owner of that ID, is in the program. So if there is any fraud that is going to take place, it can only take place within the family. within the family where the older person goes and withdraws the money and maybe is swindled within the family. But we have been talking with the agents have been trained. That is the Safaricom M-Pesa agents. They have been trained. They are supposed to ensure that they are paying the right person. So, but of course, the relatives, they are, within the family, those are issues that we are creating awareness, and even involving the national government administrative channels to ensure that the beneficiary, especially the older persons, they get their money and they are not frauded by mostly relatives. So, and I want to call upon relatives who are taking care of these older persons. Let them receive their money, let them decide what they want to do with their funds. Yes.
Do you have, this money that is released to older persons, and you have a record of the people who are supposed to receive this money, but then again, do you have proof of life checks in cases where some numbers, or do you have proof of life checks?
Yes. Initially, we used to pay using biometrics, and meaning that you use your fingerprints to receive your money. But now we have moved to a new payment model. This is the beginning. We are saying that the agents must prove that, use the ID to ensure that the person they are paying is the bona fide, is the real beneficiary of Inua Jamii.
Yes.
Moving forward, and we have had this discussion together with eCitizen and even Safaricom, they are going to roll out biometric payment, where still we use the fingerprint for you to receive your funds. We piloted this in Murang'a and Marsabit. They had some bit of challenge, but moving forward, we are going to make it better so that you use your fingerprints to receive your funds. Yes. Everything, when it's starting, it has its own teething problem. But I want to say we have received a big success when it comes to rolling out of this mobile money payment for the Inua Jamii beneficiaries.
What can you say has been the biggest challenge in running this program?
The biggest challenge, there are so many people who are vulnerable in this country. We may not be able to take care of them, all of them, especially persons with disability, households that are taking care of orphans and vulnerable children. And the fiscal status, the financial status of the government may not be able to take care of everybody. So we have so many requests of people who want to be enrolled into the program, but due to the challenge, the fiscal space, then we are not able to include them. So, but we want to appreciate that the government has made this a priority, as was directed by the president. This money is paid before the salaries of us civil servants are paid. And that is what happens every end of the month. We get, the National Treasury releases these funds before the salaries of the civil servants. So if the country, the economic status of this country was, even will continue to improve, then we are able to bring more deserving cases, more vulnerable people into the program.
What is the role of Beneficiary Welfare Committee? Beneficiary welfare committees are committees that are formed by beneficiaries themselves at the location level for advocacy, for passing of sharing of information, for reporting. In case a beneficiary has an issue or is deceased, then we get these reports from the beneficiary welfare committees. They play a critical role in our program, working together with local administration, our officers, the social protection officers, social development officers, children services officers, and the services from the National Council for Persons with Disability at the grassroots, so that they can give us reports. If somebody has passed on, if there is information that needs to be relayed to the beneficiaries, we use those grassroots structures, and the beneficiary welfare committees is one of those strong structures that we have. And the impact has been positive?
Yeah, it has been positive. They are formed at location level and sometimes at sub-location level, and their leaders are beneficiaries themselves. So they are very critical structures.
If someone wants to lodge a complaint or has faced problem with the program, how do you lodge a complaint?
As I have said, we have offices all over the country. In every sub-county, we have a social development officer, we have a children services officer in every sub-county of this country. And at the county level, we also have those officers heading the counties, and we have disability services officers. So they can just go there to the office and say what is their problem, and that problem is escalated to us at the headquarters if the social development officer cannot be able to resolve it. But most of them are solved at the sub-county level. If you are not able to reach there, you can call a toll-free line, 1533. We have a call center where we are able to address all those issues. Again, now that we are working with Safaricom, if somebody has any issue concerning their line registration, you can call 100 and you'll be assisted by the Safaricom agents. And we are working together very well on that.
I think it's good to clarify that this is not a pension scheme. It's different from a pension scheme.
Yes, I want to clarify, especially because of that headline now, because this is not a pension scheme. This is a safety net program. We do not include in our program those who are in pensions. They have other pension schemes. And if we realize, before we register you, we check whether you are in any other government pension program. So we do not include you. So this is not a pension program. It is a safety net program to take care of those who are vulnerable in our communities. It's not a pension program.
Yes. So how does the future look like now for Inua Jamii program? What are the plans?
We are going to make it better. We are going to leverage on technology, and we want to have a linkage between the registrar of persons, the civil registrar, that is the registrar of deaths and births and deaths, so that immediately, for example, an old person hits 70 years is picked automatically by our program. So we'll have a linkage between our consolidated cash transfer MIS, that is a management information system, with the CRS and the registrar of persons, so that once you hit 70 years, you are picked automatically by our program, so that we don't have to go to the field to tell people, come, we want to register you. We just want to pick. And also, when a beneficiary exits the program through death, we are also able to pick it automatically, so that we don't have to go through a process of looking for the death certificate, burial permit. We just want to integrate our systems. And this is working, it's work in progress. Already we are working on this. We have integrated with IPRS that for checking of the IDs and all that, the accuracy of the data of these people in our register. And moving forward, we want to make it even more automated.
Yes. Final words.
Final words I want to call to our beneficiaries. We have achieved quite a good progress in the last 1 week. As I've said, 1.4 million beneficiaries have already cashed out. Those beneficiaries without a Safaricom line, just kindly go and register. Once you register an M-Pesa line, you are going to get a message that you have been allocated Kenya shillings 2,000 from Inua Jamii. And you just go to the nearest M-Pesa agent, cash out the funds. That is what is happening right now. You don't need to struggle. You can even withdraw the money to your M-Pesa at the comfort of your house. And that is what we are looking for. Accessibility. Easy to access. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was our time.
Thank you.
Yes, that is Moses Kamau, who is the Director for Social Protection and Senior Citizen Affairs of the State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizen Affairs, talking to us about the Inua Jamii program. This is where we end this conversation. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mike Migu. Up next is Vivian Ndegwe with Family Check, and the question of the day is, Do men learn from their past mistakes? Well, stay tuned for that. Good morning.